Hello, hello, hello. Hello, YouTube fam. I am the nursing assistant. And today, guys, I am doing something that I have never done on this channel. I am reacting to another CNA video. So come on, guys, let's get into it.
Why I hated being a certified nursing assistant or short-term CNA. A lot to say. I was a CNA for 1 year and I just left because there was just too much drama and it was overwhelming. The reason why is shortage of CNA on the floor, okay? Somebody would call out and now you have to do share their work with somebody else, making your job a lot more heavier for you because not all patients just participate when you need to clean them or to do your job a little bit easier. It kind of get harder as you get more patients added to your workload.
You guys, what she's speaking of, the shortage. Being a nursing assistant, most of the time, you're always going to be short. So when a person call out, that means you're double shortage. Even if everybody come to work 9 times out of 10, you still going to have too many patients as far as patient to nursing assistant ratio. So when they call out, you know you're going to have a horrible day. Let's get back into the video.
Another reason why I don't like being a CNA is the pressure you get from the nurse. The nurse just sit there and, record whatever they're doing behind the desk, and which, I understand they have a lot of pressure on them too, but at the same time, they put pressure on us to do our jobs as soon as possible. Any little minor accident happen, we got to be there to clean it up or whatever the case, even though we're working on another patient and we have to rush that patient to go on to the next patient, knowing that you're on the clock and you have to finish by a certain time. Because
you guys, I want to speak on this here when she say that the nurses put a high demand on us to do a certain type of, do our job. I'm going to say do our job at a certain time point. But like she said, and I have said several times, you can be in a patient room and a call light come on and the patient may just want ice water, may just want a blanket or something very simple. And the nurse would sit at that desk and she will not go and see what that patient want or get what that patient need. She will call you in another room while you are busy with another patient to tell you when you finish with that patient, Miss So-and-so needs you in another room. And a lot of time we cannot get there, in a timely manner. So when we get in there, that patient is upset. But let me tell you guys this. I understand that a nurse have their own job, their own assignment to do. That's understandable. But what I also understand is when they're in nursing school, they are trained to do everything that we do. A LPN is trained to do everything that a nursing assistant do. Why would they train them to do everything that I do if it's not a part of their job? Good question, huh? That's because it is a part of their job. If I'm busy and they're just sitting down charting, as she said, charting, I'm gonna give them that. I'm gonna give them they charting. A lot of times they're not charting. A lot of times they sitting up there laughing and talking to each other. But I'm gonna give them chart. They can stop charting and go see what Miss Smith wants. Miss Smith is very important. You can come back and finish your charting. So, in saying that, the LPN is learn everything that a nursing assistant does. So, in case she have to step in and help, she's able to do it because she was trained to do it. Let's go up a little step further. A RN. A RN is trained to do what a LPN does and what a CNA does. So when the LPN is busy, then that RN can step down and complete what that LPN can do. And that's why they get paid more. Their responsibility is more. That is why they train them in school for that. So let's get back into her video.
Another reason, this is the third reason, is the next shift CNAs, when they come in, if they don't see the floor or every patient that's clean and organized, because they make sure they look at every room. They look in at every room to make sure that every CNA did their job. If not, you will hear them bitch all day long, okay? They will report you to the manager. They will complain, saying, why this patient, da da da. Okay, sometimes this is how it goes. Sometimes you will clean the patient, and right after you clean the patient, which I guess some CNAs don't know, I don't know, they tend to soil themselves, and especially when you're running out of time to finish your workload and you just finish a patient, then they just, mess themselves up again, okay?
Okay, guys, let me speak on this. She is absolutely correct. A lot of facility, especially nursing home. I have worked in a hospital, and we didn't do this in the hospital. We didn't do rounds in the hospital as far as going in the room checking the patient. We didn't do that. We did give a verbal report, but what she's speaking about mostly going to be in assisted living, nursing home, in that kind of setting. At the end of your shift, the oncoming nursing assistant will come in and you will go room to room to room. The patient that you have, you will be given a report, and that nursing assistant that's just coming on will check that patient. She want to make sure that patient is dry, make sure that patient is in the bed if the patient's supposed to be put back in the bed. She want to make sure all of that. But she is so correct. A lot of time, when you change your patient, you go to the next and go to the next. The first patient you change have saw again. That sometimes happen. But as a nursing assistant, if that patient, that saw have been on that patient or that patient just saw. You can tell. And when I do a round, and if we do a round and a patient have saw and just saw, and I know that patient have been changed, that's not on me. That's on the other shift. I did my part. One thing about a nurse job, it's a never ending job. It's a 24-hour job. So when my shift ends, if something else need to be done, then it's for that other shift to take it up and continue, because it never ends. It's an ongoing cycle. And as a nursing assistant, if that patient been sore for a minute or that patient just sore. So I didn't play them games at all. Let's get back to the video.
And now you're on the clock. You got maybe 10 minutes left. That's when the next shift CNAs come, and that's when they check in and be like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" Da 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 da. And sometime, if you're cool with the nurse will back you up and say, "Well, this CNA did her job," and blah blah. Not all the time. Not all the time at all. So you gotta be careful with that. I would advise to tell people to get to know each of your patient well, because then you'll know which one soils faster, or which one, how can I put it? You'll get to know them to know which patient you have to do first and which patient you have to do last. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's another reason why I don't like being a CNA, is because of the next shift CNA just comes in and accuses you of never doing work in the first place. Me, I love to clean my patient really well, but there's sometimes you have to clean your patient 2-3 times, and because their condition, sometimes they can't help themselves, and you just gotta do your job. But I just don't like when the next shift CNAs come in and accuse you of not doing your job at all. Another reason why I don't like being a CNA is gossiping and drama within the CNAs, okay? This CNA will have a problem with this CNA, and they'll be like, "Oh, be careful with that person," while you just here to work, okay? You're just there to work. You're not there to make no friends. You're just there to work and do your job, okay? Some CNAs don't understand that, but within the CNA community, you will have a lot of drama, okay? So be prepared for that. Let me see. What are the reasons why I...
Let me speak on the drama. She said CNAs. Newsflash. The whole staff. The whole staff is full of drama. I don't know what it is about this healthcare community, but it's drama, chaos, envy, judging, bullying. All that is going on while you being overworked. All this stuff that she just mentioned. On top of that, you got the drama. That's why, as a CNA, and it may be in all fields, I don't know. But I do know in the healthcare, when you go to work, to stay out of mess, stay out of drama as much as you can. And y'all heard me, I say as much as you can. Because a lot of time, you can do all this here, and they'll put you in it because they feel like you think you this, you think you're that. It's just a whole big mess. Okay? Go to work, tend to your business. Don't reveal any personal information that you don't care anybody else know about, because if you say it, it will get around. So make sure whatever you saying, you don't care about other people knowing about it. It's best to be cordial with everybody. Do your job, clock in, do your job, and clock out and go home. That's the best way to do it when it come down to your coworkers.
So be prepared for that. Let me see. What other reasons why I don't like being a CNA is another reason, low paying. Because when I first started being a CNA, minimum wage job, and I had how many patients I had? I was working from 11 to 7. I did all shift, 11 to 7 mostly, 7 and 3 sometimes, and 3 to 11 rarely. So, those shift. I remember I did double shift and I did triple shift for 2 days because I needed the bread. And the CNA's like, yo, don't kill yourself. What are you doing? Why are you working triple shift for? I don't know. I just needed the money. That's why I decided to work triple shift. But low paying. I remember doing all that work, 40 hours, well, 35 minus lunch, and you get minimum wage pay, and you're like, how are you gonna pay your bills with this? So it's minimum wage that I was working for, starting out as a CNA, and it was not easy at all. That's another reason why I did not like CNA, being a CNA. But now I think it's
You guys, I have spoke on this several times that being a nursing assistant, you're not going to get paid very much. And I also spoke on how a CNA have to have 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet, just to get the bare necessity. So we definitely need a change in our pay. Our pay has came up since this video have been made, but there are CNA jobs right now in 2025 still offering minimum wage. And as everybody here know, minimum wage cannot pay for your bare new central. I mean rent, car note, car insurance, light, gas, food, clothes, and God forbid you if you have kids. So definitely the pay needs to change, because even today we still are getting very low pay for what we do. So let's get back to the video.
should be a little bit better. I don't know now. CNAs, I commend them because they don't get the respect that they need to get, because without them the nurses can't do their jobs, okay? But we don't get the respect that we do deserve. What else? What other reasons I don't like being a
I want to stop that, and I talk about respect. I talk about not being respected as a CNA. As you can see, guys, it's not just I down CNAs or just tell y'all the negative about a CNA. I want y'all to get the full scope of what being a CNA is all about, so you can know, do you want to go down this road? Is there positive things about a CNA? Of course there is. But you need to know the negative as well as the positive. And if you can deal with the negative, then quite natural, you will have no problem with the positive. So, in being a CNA, you will get disrespected. It just come with the job, because they feel like you the lowest person on the chain in the healthcare, in the nurses field, so you get disrespected. You get disrespected by your coworker. You get disrespected by your nurses. You get disrespected by the administrator. You get disrespected by people that work in other departments within the facility. It just come with it. And my advice is stand your ground. Once they see you're not a person that gonna let disrespect slide, once they see your demeanor and you demand respect, they will come to you with respect. But you're going to have to demand it because they're not going to give it to you automatically. Now, some will, but not very many. So, more than likely, you will have to stand your ground and demand respect.
CNA, manager. Sometimes you may not have the best manager. They just don't care about you. You just there to do your job and call it a day. Sometimes they would want to try to mess with you, but you just have to be careful and just be yourself and mind your business. Don't get into drama. If one person says something about this person, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone, mind your business, and do your job. The thing is, a lot of CNAs think you get, okay, yes, you do get paid a lot in hospitals. Yes, you do. But they will call them as patient care technician, but you need another certificate and a course to get that. Also, what else? Being a CNA, some people do it for the money and some people just do it because they care for the patient. I did it because I care for the patient. But also you need a way to live. You get what I'm saying?
Y'all, I want to discuss um, getting more money in the hospital. That's not necessarily true. You may make a little bit more, but the hospital CNAs or give a personal caregiver or whatever the title is, you're not getting paid that much more than a person that works in a nursing home. Your workload will be a little lighter. And when I say lighter, I mean physical. Because most people in the nursing home can't walk, can't turn. You're going to have a lot of those type of patients. But in the hospital, you will have some, but most of your patients will be able to move around, get up. They may need a little help because they done had surgery or whatever the case may be, but they're still able to move and bathe themselves and stuff like that. So in that sense, your workload will be less physical. You may make more money, but not necessarily. And when she said you need another certificate, um, in a nursing home, as I can remember, unless things have changed, in a nursing home, to work in a nursing home, you do not have to be certified. You do not have to be certified. But in a hospital, you have to be certified, a certified nursing assistant in order to work in a hospital. That is the difference. Let's get back.
So, all my life I cared about people. I was taking care of my dad. I was taking care of a lot of people that wasn't doing well on their own. So I had it in my heart to take care of. That's why I knew I wanted to be a slash nurse that I was taking in college, but I dropped out. Another story time. But being a CNA, you have to have heart to care for your patients. If you don't, this job is not gonna be for you, because a lot of people come in thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get through this just to be a nurse, or I'm gonna have patience. You need patience, basically. Keyword patience. A lot of these CNAs do not have patience. They have an attitude. They angry. They come to work angry as hell, as if like you did something to them. You cannot come to work angry. You need to leave your problems at home. So being a CNA requires patience and to have a caring heart, and also to be cautious of what you're doing, not rush through things.
I want to kind of piggyback off of what she said. She's absolutely correct. In order to be a CNA, you have to be patient. You have to have empathy. These two things are the most important thing in being a CNA. But I also want to address when she say, a lot of people say, well, they went into nursing for the money or whatever. CNAs don't make no money. You can go to McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever, and your salary may be the same as a CNA. Like I said, it have gotten better. They pay more now, but it's still some CNA jobs that they're offering minimum wage. So even though you have to have the passion, the patience, empathy, those are great characteristics to become a CNA, just really to be in the healthcare industry, period. Doctors, nurses, all of us need those qualities in order to be a good healthcare worker. But yes, we also in it to make a living. We're not coming to work volunteering our time. Do you go to work to volunteer your time? You may love what you do. And as a child, that was your desire to do that. You clock in, don't you want to get paid? Would you do it if you didn't get paid? Of course. Of course you wouldn't. But that doesn't mean you was in it for the money. But yes, you have to have compassion, patience, and empathy. And this is a job that can't anyone do it. You got to have those three qualities in order to be a good healthcare worker. Let's get back into the video.
Um, really using your mind of what to do next. Like if a patient falls down, what would you do next? Obviously call the nurse, but a lot of these CNAs don't know. Okay, that's another story. But yeah, so those are the reasons why I don't like being a CNA.
Okay, guys, let me comment on the last little thing that she said about a patient falling and you would call the nurse. Yes, you would call the nurse, but first, when a patient fall, you should not move her. You should not get her up, especially if you think the fall is a serious fall. What you would do, you would try to make the patient comfortable as much as you can. And when I say comfortable, maybe put a pillow under her head or something like that, then call the nurse. You do not want to move that patient because you don't know what is damaged, and you don't want to cause any more injuries that may be already there before the nurse assess her. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video, and hopefully I may be doing some more in the future. If y'all like this type of video, please comment down below. If y'all would like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because you don't want to miss not one of my videos. Not one. Come on. Come on. Let's get it started.